Hey there, John here with the walk around of this 1965 Honda CB160 that's been fully restored by me. This is probably the 25th bike I've done in the last 7 years, and probably the 8th 160. I've also done 6 Super Hawks, and I'm working on 6 more Super Hawks. Anyway, so it's a nut and bolt frame up, complete restoration. Everything is completely taken apart, inspected, repaired or replaced as needed. OEM parts are used wherever possible. There are some minimal reproductions. For example, the rims are DID rims, but they're modern new rims. They're not the original rims. There's been a lot of parts that have been re-chromed, like these fork shrouds, the fork seal holders, and the little trim rings, and the bezel. I believe the tank sides weren't re-chromed. They were just really, really good ones that I had bought from a guy on eBay, I think. These were re-chromed. The lower shock covers were re-chromed. A lot of the, as much as possible, the original nuts and bolts have been reused. They get vapor blasted to remove dirt and rust, and then they get zinc plated using a Caswell zinc plating system. So you can see, just a lot of these where, in the 60s there were no markings on the heads of these bolts. You can see that's the case here. There's this plain bolts with no markings on the heads. And then these cross point, JAS screws on the engine. Engine was completely disassembled. Everything's vapor blasted and inspected, put back together. I believe it was first oversized point, quarter of a millimeter bigger than original stock. The only thing I don't do is, when the cylinders need boring, they have to go to a machine shop along with the pistons, and then they get bored, and I put it back together. All of the frame, everything, all the steel parts get sandblasted back to bare metal. Any cracks get welded up, any dents get massaged out, and minimal body filler used to smooth those out. She's the beauty. Correct sizes of tires. We've got a 250 rib tread by 18, 250 by 18 on the front. On the back there's a 275 by 18 with a block tread pattern. Let's see, we got the correct mud flap on there. The some things, some other reproduction things would be the, like these, the foot peg rubbers. There's Klaus Studios makes excellent reproductions for those. They got the original plastic badges. A lot of times you'll see replacement metal badges here because the plastics ones would just perish in the sun. But these are correct. They've been polished up to look brand new. We've got the correct mirrors on here, correct speedometer. It's a brand new bike. You're ready to ride and enjoy. But let's go ahead and fire it up. So we'll turn the fuel on. The fuel is on this side. Just turn that to on and give it, she's cold, so we can just give it a little bit of choke. Turn the key on. You can see we got a neutral indicator light in the speedometer. Hit the electric starter button. There she is running. So the kickstart works as well. I'm going to pull her into the shade. Whoops. She's cold. Pull her into the shade and go over all the electrical features. Show all that stuff working. So, here's the seat with the chrome trim and the Honda logo on the back. Fully recovered seat. Everything looks brand new. New rivets on the seat. Alright, we'll take her inside and go over the electrical.